welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
Detroit! Here we go. 3-19.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Patriot! Here we go now.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Here we go now. Landing.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. On the give, this is Drake. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a handoff for Drake. There he goes inside the 30. Pass, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Kenyon Drake, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And he'll bang that one through. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up the touchdown on the opening drive.
This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, that's Alexander, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right?
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
You know, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. And they'll run it here. They find some open field here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That burst good for 20 and a first down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Stepping up, he'll try and... Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. The Broncos say they have it. They do. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And they'll go on the ground. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Lewis now to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. To throw is Lewis. On 3rd down. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Cunningham not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Running, it's Drake. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And first down, Drake. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this dig, has got to be priority one.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. The Broncos on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go. 3-19.
Now Lewis. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs. They covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I could pay so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they?
Cents.
So the field goal there caps play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Heading out as the Texans offense is here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard.
That's caught at the 25. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one. 57 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. A try here for the extra point.
Brandon, they just got the ball, and already they're in the end zone, and you're getting ready to talk about the PAT. That was fast.
Extra point right down the middle, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Here we go now.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing is Lewis. He dumps it off to Drake. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? From the gun, here's Watson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
3-19.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lewis. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Green.
Give to Drake running left. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
No. Check, Patriot.
Lewis to throw on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He's going to air one out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans are in for 6.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The point after is good, and the lead is now 14-10. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. He's got the lane, and there he goes. 20, 10, touchdown, Broncos. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
Now Watson. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Red, green,
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson. His throw incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half, a second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's Lewis, operating from the gun. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 15.
Now let's go. Blue landed.
Lewis now. A final shot before break. And that is incomplete. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
No.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run with Drake, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
To throw is Lewis from the gun on 3rd down. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now Lewis. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Bernardrick McKinney with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Well, that 2nd down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
He had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Watson on 3rd down. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Reset. 2J.
On first down, it's Gurley. Fancy footwork in midfield. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
To throw is Watson. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The Texans on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's... And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10, right at the 30. Watson. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. And Denver getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold it.
Now Lewis. From the gun, he'll throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Off the play fake. Lewis. And it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, here's Watson. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Texans on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
Final minute now of the third quarter. To throw on second is Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back? Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Now on second down, this is Gurley. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Yes. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. But he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And Reed with it over the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
He goes underneath the drain. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when, and he told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Lewis looking to throw on second down. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Looking to throw. Lewis. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now they have the lead. Do you stay on the attack? Or do you dial it back a little bit to try and protect this lead?
Well, my cop-out answer would be somewhere in the middle. I think it's going to be a fine line, is it not?
I think you're exactly right, but I do think if they can stay aggressive and keep them on their heels, they'll be best served that way.
He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. The tackle there by Richard Sherman. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating when we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Lewis to throw on 2nd down. That escapes the sack. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Lewis now operating from the gun. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Patriot! Let's go! Green!
They'll run. It's Drake. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Now they'll run it on the toss. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. And they'll run it here. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Gurley. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Throwing now, Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. To throw is Lewis. Throwing to start the drive. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
Now Lewis to throw again. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face, because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
Lewis on 3rd down, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this winds up a disaster. Nowhere near the marker. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans are going to win the football game. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And they'll go on the ground. And a short gain here, down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because We've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, Charles.